Hey, what's up there? It's your girl Sharissa. I'm here in the beautiful Joshua Tree. Look at this. How amazing is nature? Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, God. This is amazing. I've had people ask me about my brace. And this morning, one of my buddies, was like, hey, Sharissa, what happened to your hand? And I was like, I punched a wall. And he's like, no, really, like, what happened to your hand? Like, were you playing around boxing or something? And I was like, no, I punched a wall. I was really angry. And he's like, no way. And then my two friends who were there, who I had told, like, the full story a couple nights ago, they were like, yeah, you have to hear the story. Like, it's a really good story. Like, it's really deep. It's just really complex. It goes way back. And there was a lot of, like, feeling and emotion. And when I was younger, that I didn't allow myself to feel. And now that I'm starting to drop deeper into my heart and less in my ego, like less in my fear, less in my like what's trying to protect me, right? Like opening myself up to seeing things I wasn't willing to see before and feeling things I wasn't willing to feel before, or I didn't have the tools to feel them or express myself. I didn't have the tools to do that. And so now that I'm starting to see things, see myself fully, like transparently without judgment, and just noticing my life experience, I had been holding in all of this like anger and sadness and love and emotion, and that's what this is. It's a combination of all of those things why I hit the wall and almost broke my hand. Thank God it's just a fracture. I get another x-ray tomorrow. And I'm not saying what I did was wrong or right, but what I know is that it happened and it was perfect for me. And I have felt such a release as I talk about like my experience and as I talk about like what led up to this and why it happened and what my lessons are in love and how to bring understanding to those emotions of anger and fear and sadness and love. And how can I bring love to that area of myself that has so much to get out, like to hit a wall, you have to be really angry, and to have your hand in the condition that my hand was in, you have to be really angry. My hand was purple for like a couple days, like half of my hand was completely purple on both sides and I could barely use it. Now I have like lots of movement in my fingers, I just can't really move my wrist, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for my healing body machine. And I rejoice in my full expression. Like I am so happy that it happened, and I'm so happy that I had such a close family member that was there with me when it happened, and I was able to talk about it with him, and he was able to really give me the space to hear me and hear what I was going through and help me work through it. And I just need everybody to know that your feelings have information, and your feelings are meant to be felt like fully and completely. And don't wait until you have all of this built up prana, this energy, right? Don't wait till you have all this built up energy. That's what emotion is. Emotion is movement of energy, of life in your body happening in you. And if we can start to notice that a little bit earlier and move through it instead of just like wiping your tears to have a pretty face. Your pretty face is when you're fully expressed. Your most beautiful self is when you're being fully authentic and truthful and honest and transparent. And you're communicating, Not when you're holding back. Because love is always truth. Truth is always love. Even if the truth hurts, it's love. If you love someone, you're honest with them because you love them. Me hitting that wall was such a huge mirror for me to see what are the other ways that like I have this veil of this illusion because that everything's okay, that my feelings don't matter, that it's okay to shove it down and not be fully expressed, and that I've been doing that my whole life, and like I'm a communicator to my core, but I've just learned to hold so much in, and I know that a lot of women struggle with that too. And I'm here to say that it's okay to be in your process, and I just want to encourage you to notice when that comes up for you, when you're pushing away your emotions, or you're not allowing your voice to be heard, you're not allowing your needs to be acknowledged. And I'm here to say that it's time for you to use your voice, and it's time for you to express yourself, and it's time to work through your tough emotions. And during that time, let me tell you what happened. The day before I hit the wall, I came down with laryngitis. Now, nobody in my family was diagnosed with laryngitis. There were a few sick kids. And a couple days ago, I completely lost my voice. And I gained it back like 3 days later. I was listening to Louise Hay on YouTube, and I was reading some of her stuff online. And she was talking about the connection of like our body and our emotions, and like our body and our life. And when we have challenges in our body, there's a reflection of what's going on inside. And I went down the list, and laryngitis. And what was the only thing that it said? Now, I'm not saying Louise Hay has all the answers, but she's had a lot of answers for me, and she's helped me guide myself to my own answers. And after I saw this, I found that there was other studies that showed the exact same thing, that laryngitis means you're so, like, the reason you get a tract laryngitis in your life is because you're so angry that you can hardly speak. You're so mad that you can hardly speak. And that kind of blew me away. I wasn't super shocked, but it kind of blew me away a little bit. And I want you to know that your emotions have information, and it's time to start embracing ourselves fully, whether it looks ugly or it looks pretty, whatever our life is looking like, embrace it and be with that experience when it's happening. And if I wasn't with my experience while it was happening, if I wasn't fully feeling all of this emotion that wanted to come out, I would be walking around with so much more block in my heart if I didn't do that. Now, I'm setting myself up to continue to be fully expressed in my life, so I don't have to punch walls anymore. And the last time I punched a wall was about 15 years ago, and it was for a similar reason, like similar spark of anger. And so I'm noticing the patterns in my life, and I'm noticing the ways that I can be more aware and less fearful and less attached to the way that I think I need things to be, you know, because there is something so much bigger out there. And anytime we're frustrated, right, or like we want things to be different, like we want things, it's because we want things to be the way that we want them to be. And I think when we like recognize that there's only a portion that we have control of, we can manage ourselves, but we can't manage other people. We can't necessarily manage the circumstances in our life if they're completely out of our hands. And so noticing what we can control and what we can't control, and relishing in that, and letting go of what you need to let go of. I've been praying for peace and love and forgiveness for myself and for the people involved in this emotion that I have, and I feel so much lighter. And the situation hasn't changed, like, at all on the outside, right? There's only so much I can see. But I know, like, if I want to change my outside world, I gotta change my inside world, baby. And that means I gotta be more loving. And I gotta love when it's hard. I gotta love the people that are really hard to love, because that's where the lessons are. That's where the blessings are. That's where the miracles happen. That's how you release this block of pain, you know? And I think that, or this block of resistance or like judgment or anything that's creating separation between you and like the way that you want to live your life. So notice, invite the voice of love into your life. There's always a conversation happening, and it's either I'm good enough, I'm not good enough. It's either the voice of love or the voice of fear and the voice of your mind. Who are you going to let run the show? Who's going to be the facilitator of your conversations in your head? The voice of love or not? And you can simply ask, I wonder what the voice of love would have to say about me in this moment, about this circumstance, right? Peace and love to you. If this message resonates with you, make sure that you share it with someone.